Let's talk about testing data for possible normality using Microsoft Excel. So the data we have here are the salaries of the 50 U.S. governors, starting here in column B, row 2, and then going down to row 51. So a reasonable question that comes up often is, can the data be reasonably fit to a normal distribution? One way of doing this is by computing what's called a normal probability plot. And the steps for doing this are as follows. First off, we rank the data is already ordered. So we have the data already ordered. And let's now put in the rankings. So this is number 1. Then I'll write A2 plus 1, the previous entry plus 1, to get number 2. And then we fill this down to 50 all the way at the bottom for the highest governor salary. Now let me add in another column, and this is going to be I minus 0.5 over n, which in this case is 50. So this will divide up take those ranks and change them into numbers that are between 0 and 1. So this will be equal to A2 minus 0.5 divided by 50, and that gives a number that is between 0 and 1, in this case 0.01. Then as I fill down, I get a listing of 50 numbers that form an arithmetic sequence, going up in this case by 0.02 every time, going from a little bit more than 0 to a little bit less than 1. So this number is the 99th sample percentile, this number is the 59th sample percentile, and so on. A probability plot is obtained by comparing this to normal distribution. So let me put one more column in, and this will be the norm S_inv of all these numbers. So norm S_inv of 0.02, of B2 is going to be equal to negative 2.326. So the first percentile of a normal distribution falls here. This is the first sample percentile, and the way that we construct a normal probability plot is we compare these percentiles in column C here from the normal distribution to the sample percentiles from the salaries. So our final step is to construct the scatter plot of this data. So I will insert a scatter plot of this, and there is the probability plot for this data. And the basic question is, do these points reasonably fall close to a straight line? There is some statistical methodology that can be applied to this, but the gist of it is, do the points lie close to a straight line? There are going to be some exceptions, especially in the upper right and the upper left, but certainly down here the points lie reasonably close to a straight line. And if I actually add the trend line to this, I can see the graph of the trend line to see how closely the points do lie to a straight line. In this case, they lie reasonably close, and so if we were to assume that this data came from a normal distribution, that would not be the worst assumption in the world. Now, clearly they don't come from a normal distribution. These are salaries of governors, not something that comes from some kind of bell curve. But the data does seem to follow a normal distribution fairly well, even though there's no natural occurring reason for that to happen. So that is a normal probability plot and how to construct one. In class we talked about how the TI calculator actually will do this automatically using the stat plots menu. You can select a probability plot to have this constructed automatically. There's also some discussion about this in the textbook. The units in the textbook using other software packages like Minitab might be different. The X and Y axes might be flipped, for example, but the basic gist of it is what we've done here, plotting these points in this funny way and then checking to see whether or not the points lie close to a straight line.